Hey man, loving all these moments here. Loving the fact that we get to dive into everybody's journey. And we're going to go on a journey right now. And especially if you were here yesterday, because G-Man did exactly that. And we need to discover this thing we call the perfect croissant. Now, when it comes to croissants, Woolworths has set the gold standard. And I mean everything from expertly layered dough to that signature buttery flake. Now, it's no wonder they're considered the only croissant to buy. So today, we're going to be in conversation with Woolworths bakery product developer. We've got Jack Culver in the building to find out exactly what goes into making these iconic pastries and why they truly are the only croissant to choose. And that's the official statement of the day. Jack, how are we doing, man?
Yes, very good, thanks. Thank you very much.
Lekker. Last time we were here, we were making sandwiches and we were having a lot of fun. It was fun, but listen, dude, we're highlighting what I think is like the epitome of an elevated breakfast experience, the croissant, bro. And I know you're already smiling there. You're like a proud dad. Like, yeah, look what I got for you. But let's talk about it, man. The criteria that you guys are using to both evaluate and sort of clarify that your bakeries, your suppliers are getting this right. What are you going through to ensure that quality is reached?
It's a really cool process, actually, Raz. So we tend to look for bakeries that align with our values, obviously, firstly, before we do anything else.
You guys are always family-orientated,
and
100%,
I feel
that, yeah.
And we need to get our ethics right. And then the other thing that we look for are bakery suppliers who essentially can push the envelope, right? So what are we doing from an innovation point of view? How do they look at sustainability, quality in their own right? And then how do we partner with them? So that's the biggest thing, right?
Love that. And I mean, we're talking about a croissant, but yet somehow you find ways to elevate it. And you've done that here. And I think especially with regards to the partnerships that we've seen. And yesterday we got a first-hand look at G's experience. He went to Amaro Foods, which has been a partner with you guys for quite some time now, right?
Yeah, since 1974, actually. Yeah.
Whoa. So Amaro Foods, what would that put in terms of like, how many years is that exactly?
It's 51 as far as I can count.
Wow. Half a century. That's absolutely incredible. Why is this partnership cherished though for Woolworths especially?
So I think Amaro, they're phenomenal, right? So I think what I would cherish the most, me, just working closely with them, is their dedication. They have an obsession, a very healthy obsession. And then this drive for like relentless perfection to get the best possible product for our customers on the counter, right? Yeah. It never ends. Like the amount of time we spent on how to get the optimal amount of layers, like what is this thing, right? So they're phenomenal to work with, right? And I think for people who become excited about the basics, so if you give them flour and water, there's like pure unbridled joy, right? And we need that within the baking industry, right?
Yeah. That's I think what's missing in this world where everything's so fast-paced. We lose that connection, we lose that touch, we lose that quality. What would you say though? I mean, I have to ask you, what are these key differences? I mean, what is setting this croissant apart from the rest, and why should we be putting this at the top of our list?
So there's a few differences, right? I think firstly, just from our perspective, so the details definitely make the difference.
We can get closer just by the way. We don't have to shy away from it, man. Yeah.
So the details definitely make the difference. So the details going from where we get the raw materials from, the characteristics of each one, how we approach and work with each one, right? So the biggest thing you'll see on a lot of our packaging and also from an in-store perspective is butter.
Yes.
So we have an uncompromising use of butter across all of our croissants, right? So that's definitely something that we think is essential for the best eating croissant from a customer perspective.
Can I quickly just interrupt you and speak on behalf of like Mzansi?
Yes.
It is essential.
We
love our butter, man. Yes. And you can taste it. And I think that's what adds to that opulent experience. So sorry for interrupting you, but yes, I had to make that known.
No, but that's awesome, huh? So that's probably one of our biggest differences, and it's across the range, right? So whether they are on the shelf or whether you get them freshly baked in store.
Got you, okay.
Okay, so butter's the thing.
Yes.
It's the key. I think the second thing that makes a really big difference to us is the process, obviously, and we're pedantic about it. But one thing we can call out perhaps are the layers. So we've spent a lot of time to reach the optimal amount of layers.
And we're talking about those like flaky layers that you chew into.
Correct, the butter and the dough, right?
That texture experience from like crunchy to doughy to, yes.
That's probably the best
thing,
right?
thing, yeah.
So to get to that optimal amount of layers, that will give us and our customers the best eat that we can, right? So there's two things. I think a croissant has to be unmistakably buttery.
Yes.
And absolutely gloriously flaky.
Yes.
It has to leave a trail once you're done, right?
Yeah. Sorry, while you're talking, I'm like, I can't not reach over to this and be like, yeah, I see that. Layers. And I don't know if the cameraman can see this right now. Obviously, we try to do a sectional cut. You can't always get it so great in a croissant because of the texture. But listen, we're talking about something that, like we mentioned now, has an experience. It's a journey. There's flakiness. There's the butter inside of this. And listen here, I'm talking too much, Yak. I need to just have a little taste. You mind?
Just eat, please. That's the best thing to do, huh?
It's almost like, and I'm not going to say it because I might just cause a crazy stir with the public, but it's like a cake, bro. It's that good. It's
That's
like,
the nicest compliment you can give me, right?
It's giving me cake feels. I could put this in a candle and start wishing people happy birthday.
I can sing if you want.
That's how worthy it is. I got to ask you though, why is everything that we're doing so important, especially some of the ingredients? And one for mention is free-range eggs.
Yes.
Obviously another important ingredient. Everything seems to be just right at the top of the list when it comes to opulence and premium. Why are you ensuring that is also part of this process?
So I think free range for us is kind of a non-negotiable, right? I think we always strive to be leaders from an animal welfare perspective, and it's one of our ethical obligations. So it's like a non-negotiable, essentially. Secondly, I think from a free range perspective, I have to think now, I've written down some really nice words and I've forgotten them clearly. Oh God, Ryle.
But I would imagine for the free-range perspective, it would tie into something I'm so proud of, and that's being a nature boy. I mean, everything that is free-range means that we're not just looking at the human solution here, but we're looking at the entire global solution too. So
100%.
in terms of efficacy, in terms of how we source ingredients, I think Woolies is doing that so perfectly by ticking that box and making that we do it in the best way possible. So that would definitely make me understand why you're using free-range eggs, but I'm sure you have a plethora of other reasons as to why. And we could sit here for hours speaking about it, but I just want to savor on this. It is the croissant, and I'm not going to lie at all. It is probably one of the best things I've had this morning, and I don't say that lightly. So I'm starting to get involved in this, and it's only made, like you heard, with butter from that light, decadent, buttery taste that I'm having right now. It is truly the only croissant to choose. So go shop it right now. Get it at Woolworths. There's a range of croissants in store. It's online, available on the app, and especially when it's in your mouth, it's going to be a celebration like no other. Absolutely worthy of it. Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you very much,
This is delicious. Can I have the rest as well?
You can have them all, huh?
I'll see
You can have them all.
later.